Hey, what's up? Travis here at Books, Builds, and More, and today I'm doing a Lego review for the set, The Great Pyramid of Giza. Okay, so looking at it right off the bat, you can tell it's a fairly good sized set. Um, this is kind of put my hand here to see, and of course I just held it up in the intro of this video, so that gives you a little bit of an idea too, but it's an amazing set. I mean, just looking at it, it's just amazing. Now, a lot of it looks pretty monocolored, which is fine, but it's all these little details that I really enjoy about it. Now, if you'll notice right here, I already took part of this apart. That you have two identical like mini pyramids here, but there's a feature in these that I wanted to show, and I took one apart here, and this is a supposed to be a little sarcophagus. Now, I do have the instruction manual here where it shows details about a lot of features on this set, and these two pyramids I think are supposed to represent the tombs for certain pharaohs that are buried next to the Great Pyramid. And of course, you've got all of these other little different things here, like you have all the trees and the vegetation, and the Nile. This is supposed to represent the Nile, this watercolor here with the boats, which are called feluccas. And these were traditional ancient Egyptian sort of ferries, I guess, that would carry people and goods down the Nile on. And these are actually the last little touches of the set that you put together according to the instruction booklet. So you've got a pretty flat base, to kind of even out the set on, obviously. Now, one thing of interest is the Great Pyramid, the identification plate here. You actually have two, and I have used both of them before. I dug this one back out, but this is oops, I've got it upside down here. You have another nameplate that is just hieroglyphics, and I have used that. This is the third time I've built this set, and I did use this one on the second time I built it. Yeah, I've only used it one other time. But yeah, let's just go through here and see some of the features here. Like you have these, this was one of my favorite parts of the build, were just these little miniature sphinxes that line up this way right here. This structure right here at the beginning, I think, is called the Valley Temple. And again, according to, I don't know my ancient Egypt history much, so I'm just kind of going off my information I got out of the instruction books. But this is the Valley Temple. It's on the edge of the Nile, where I believe it was where the body of the pharaoh was received before he was actually buried into the pyramid. And you can see like a little bitty, I can only go in so far with this, so you can see like a little monument here, that's one of the standard Lego pieces where like it's just a minifigure. You see this in a lot of models, but this one, of course, is gold to fit the theme of the set. And then we go up past these little bitty pyramids, of course. And I took this apart right now, but now when you put this together, it looks identical. And I've already discussed this, where these you're not going to see anything like that, so it's like, what's kind of the point of doing that? Then you have over here what you call the workers village, all these little buildings over here, where, of course, the builders of the pyramid lived. And this is called an obelisk. It's like just sort of a monument. I guess that was, let's see, according to the instructions, it was just, let's see, it says obelisks were likely invented about 150 years after the Great Pyramid was built. And one is included here to acknowledge their broader importance in ancient Egypt. So that's just kind of a vague description, so I'm not really sure exactly what the significance of obelisks were, unless they were just grand decorations. Then we have, of course, the Great Pyramid itself. Although first I want to touch on the sides here. this was something that was cool too. And this was like these little pieces right here along the side where they're kind of wavy. These are, and it's on both sides. These are supposed to represent the fact that the sand dunes, where the pyramid was, in the desert, basically, and well, for a large part, but these are supposed to represent sand dunes. The only thing I don't like about this particular feature is the fact that it would have been easier if they just had the pieces just smoothed and, curved and roached enough to where they would look like a little more like sand dunes instead of having these stud spots right here where you could attach a minifigure. I guess maybe if you want to put a minifigure, because this set doesn't come with minifigures, but a lot of people like to mix their sets up a lot and move minifigures around and place them on other sets. So that could be, or maybe it's just someone just didn't feel the need to correct that. I'm not really sure. But now this set has a little bit of a secret. First, before I do this, the top of the pyramid, of course, is called a capstone. And I think in ancient Egypt, again, according to the instruction books, that it was covered or at least made of gold in order to capture the brilliance of the sun. But here is where I love this set too. It comes off and it's just kind of this shell, that's kind of really, really intricately built on the inside. You build this, it's a very, very unique build, and that's one of the reasons why I really like this set. But on the inside, it's just supposed to indicate, I guess, the construction, like a little layout of the construction of the pyramid. Like, I think this is another, like they're hauling up the capstone off this kind of track, and you have this it fell apart on me here. I have to put that back in. I always had trouble with this one little part right here. So you get a string. You have to kind of like get this string motion through here, and then this just kind of contraption at the top. But that's basically what the inside looks like. And then you just kind of put this, you can put this back together. Now, the back side of this set is completely flat, but there's an interesting feature back here. A lot of people buy two of these sets because down here you can see connections. You have these connection points to where you can buy another set like this and put it together so people can like have it does look like a full pyramid. But I'm not going to do that because, for one thing, it's kind of this is kind of an expensive set, for what it is. It really is. I'm not going to waste all that money just to have two sets of the same thing that are actually just going to take up more room than is necessary. I'm perfectly happy with just this because I can just set this against the wall and it still has, that it has the effect that I'm looking for. But I thought this was pretty neat. There's also a little tiny sarcophagus in the middle of this really kind of uniquely planned hieroglyphic. It looks just kind of like it's supposed to be, I guess, a hieroglyphic, sort of Easter eggish in a way, but not really technically an Easter egg. It's just it's not fitting on there perfectly, and it's not going to. Sorry for that. But anyway, yeah, I don't think, I mean, it's interesting, but it's just, with the front always being shown, again, it's just sort of useless in my opinion, but it's still nice. It's still nice. I love this set. I absolutely love this set. And one more thing I want to point out about this set is you can actually get an LED light system for this set. And Brian the-Crustic from the Crustic Codex actually recently did this same exact set himself. So please go check out his review and his take on this set. He has the lights for it. And I'm really jealous about that because I'd really love to get the lights, because when you light it up, it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And almost like a night light. Not that I need a night light, mind you, but still, it would just be something great to kind of an ambiance, I guess, to have on like in the late evening when the sun goes down and stuff. Just kind of have a little soft light in the house, but it looks amazing with the light set. So maybe eventually when I tear this down and rebuild it a fourth time, I can get me some lights and light up the system. But yeah, overall, I am very, very satisfied with this set. It's probably one of my favorite builds I've ever done. And that's it, my review for the Great Pyramid of Giza Lego set. A very pricey set, but definitely well worth it. Absolutely one of my favorite sets I've ever built. And if you've stuck with me this long, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was enjoyable, and I hope to see you in the next video.